Thank you for visiting treatmentforocd.com. My name is Chrissie Hodges, and today in this video blog, I wanted to talk about why it is that people resist treatment for OCD. If you've seen any of my other videos, one of the reasons why is because OCD symptoms tend to ebb and flow. So sometimes they'll be just right in your head and you're freaking out and you just need some relief somehow, and then other times it might take a backseat to some of the things that are going on in your life. But for most of us that live with OCD, we do know that in our own journey to recovery, even though it ebbs and flows, at some point it's going to get so bad that treatment is going to be necessary. So it's important to start treatment now. The reason why people resist treatment for OCD is because the therapy's tough. It's not impossible and it's not going to make you miserable, but what it does is it's challenging your behaviors, it's challenging your response, and some of the stuff that you will be doing is going to seem counterintuitive. However, what you're really doing is learning how to manage this debilitating anxiety that's been driving your life probably at this point for years. And that takes work. If you decided to train for a marathon, you wouldn't just go, I'm going to run a couple miles tomorrow, maybe a couple miles next week, and then I'm going to do the marathon. That's not how it works. You wouldn't be able to complete it. You would be sore. You'd probably get injured, right? It takes training. It takes practice. It takes conditioning your body to be able to do that kind of mileage if you don't have the necessary training underneath you. It's the same thing with ERP therapy. What you're doing is you're conditioning your brain. You're trying to understand what's going on. You're practicing. You're doing all these things to be able to learn an appropriate response that isn't going to keep you trapped in the cycle of OCD. So some of the questions, I wrote some of these down because I want to make sure that I get all to them. Some of the questions that may have people resisting treatment on top of just, feeling like, what if treatment is too hard, are, what if therapy works for everyone but me? What if I really don't have OCD and I'm just a monster based on whatever obsession you maybe experience? What if the therapy eliminates my anxiety, but then I act on the obsessions? Who will I be without OCD? What will I do with my life when I'm not ritualizing every day? And what if I'm not unique anymore after my OCD is gone? You may experience some of these questions or all of them or none of them, it doesn't matter, but I just wanted to go over that those are some common questions that might get in the way when you're contemplating doing treatment. They can be just as scary as actually facing the obsession that you've been avoiding for all of these years. So what can I do to help you? First of all, I can help get you to the right therapist. That is the most important thing. The right therapist is going to use evidence-based practices like exposure response prevention to be able to help teach you how to manage the symptoms of OCD. Getting the right therapist is the number one thing when going into treatment. So what I can do is we can do a consultation. I want to learn a little bit more about what you've been going through, where you live, what type of therapy you want to do, whether that be in person or Skype or phone if it's unavailable in your area. And then within 24 hours of our consultation, I'll send you what I like to say, or what I like to refer to as an email of hope. This is going to be several different therapists that you can interview or talk to, see which one is going to be the best fit for you. I'm going to send you some web links, some books, some success stories, support systems maybe, or support groups either online or maybe in your area, and other tools that you may be able to use to supplement the therapy that the therapist will be able to provide. We can also do a peer support session. Now this is where I'm going to use my lived experience. We're going to go a little bit more in depth about what you're experiencing, and we can really tackle some of those questions that may be hindering you from wanting to get treatment, or that may hinder you during treatment. And I can use, because I've had almost all of those questions as well when I went through therapy, but I can use my lived experience to help normalize what you're going through and hopefully give you some hope to know that regardless, that OCD is treatable and that you are not going to be resistant to treatment, especially if you're with the right therapist, and that recovery is possible for anyone with OCD. So check out the website, decide whether or not you think that a consultation or a peer support session is better for you, and book a time, and we will get you on the right path toward recovery with OCD. I look forward to seeing you soon.